Mountaineers, this is Sarge here with a special Tuesday edition of Mountaineer Eats here on Mental Health Awareness Week. So I'm going to kind of stall for a couple minutes just to make sure if people want to get on and want to get cooking, then they can come and join in. But you need to have your mixing bowl ready and all your ingredients. So if you don't have your ingredients ready, mine are all ready. So take a minute and get joining in. We have our flour. So you got 1 cup of whole wheat flour. And we got 1 cup of all-purpose flour there. We got 2 tablespoons of sugar. And the rest of your dry ingredients, I have it all together there. So it's my cinnamon, it's my salt, and it's my baking powder. So we'll be using those in a moment. And then I have my wet ingredients, which will come first. So I've melted 4 tablespoons of butter. I guess I'm going to pour it right in the bowl because I'm going to mix them first. So 4 tablespoons of butter. Put it off to the side. I'm going to put in my sweet potatoes. I mashed them all up. If you haven't mashed them yet, quick tip, you could just throw it in the microwave and then get them mashing because you need 1 cup of mashed sweet potatoes. Otherwise, I boiled mine a little bit earlier. You have 1.25 cups of milk. I use almond milk in mine. And we have 3 eggs. So I got 3 eggs, I'm gonna throw them in. Before I start mixing up, I'll just talk about my sweet potato waffles for a minute. And of course I have some cheesy jokes for you guys. So I'm gonna set my timer, because about every 5 minutes, I got a new joke for you. So I'm just gonna set it, make sure that every 5 minutes I don't leave you hanging with not a joke. And I'll start off with, why in spring is it such a good season to start a gardening business? Because you can rake in all the money. Rake in all the money. Good joke. Okay, 5 more minutes and we'll get you another one. So sweet potato waffles is from cookbook Run Fast, Cook Fast, Eat Slow. So it's a cookbook that I also like to use. Obviously, we all like waffles. Isn't that a great carb? And if you can throw some sweet potatoes in, and after a workout, add a tofu scramble or scrambled eggs or something, it makes a pretty good post-workout meal. So that's why I thought it might be an easy one we can get started with today. I see Sadie saying, ha 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 ha. I hope that's at my joke and not at me, Sadie. I can see that comment as we're posting here. So, sweet potato waffles. So, hope you have your ingredients ready. I'm going to get my mixer going with my wet ingredients. And then we'll get started to see how these are going to go. The reason I chose this one too is that I make these ones for my freezer. So, I'll make a whole stack of them. I might make 1 recipe or I will double it. I'll put them in the freezer so that they're easy to go. Because obviously I'm not having waffles generally at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but if I go for a long run in the morning and then I can pop one in the toaster after a workout, it's pretty good. So I have my mixer. You can use a normal whisk. You can use a hand mixer, but I like to have the big KitchenAid mixer out for most of the cooking and baking I do. I've washed my hands before, so I hope if you are cooking, you've washed your hands too. Hair's tied back, always good thing to add in. We're just gonna mix the wet ingredients up a little bit. Hi Cash. I'm glad you're watching. Miss you, Cash. Hope you had a great year, what you did have up north. So I'm just getting those wet ingredients all mixed together. And then I'm gonna start adding the dry ingredients. So if you haven't started your waffle iron, it's a good idea to get it going, but you can make these as pancakes as well. You might just have to thin the batter a little bit more. So I've got those all mixed. I'm gonna lift up my mixer and then start adding my dry ingredients. So I have it all ready to go. So my cinnamon, my salt, and my baking powder all mixed in there. Put it off to the side. 2 minutes until joke time. I know you guys are ready for this one. This is a little bit of sugar, just a little bit, so that it's still a Ross approved recipe. So any of the recipes you've ever seen on, that's not the timer for the joke, that's the timer for the waffle iron. Hold the phone, it'll come soon. Any of the recipes you've seen on my Mountaineer Eats are things I make. They're things I make all the time. Trusted and true recipes from my family There's some good ones coming out in May too. So next week I have a vanilla milkshake smoothie recipe. So that's the one for next Tuesday. But if you have suggestions on what you would like to have me cook, you can always throw me an email and might be able to get it in there. I know that Mia, shout out to Mia from my complimentary course class, had emailed me asking for something that's a good sweet treat recipe. So I do have a recipe coming out that I shared with her that's for some muffins, zucchini banana chocolate chip muffins when you're craving something sweet. So I've added all my dry ingredients in there and I'm just gonna mix it, just mix it. We're not gonna blend this up crazy, otherwise the ingredients get kind of separated in there. So just a little bit, mix while we're getting all that going. I'm just gonna spray my waffle iron pan. So there it is, ready. Waffle iron pan. Give it a little spritz. Because we don't want it to stick. So my batter is looking a little bit thick. And if you're making these into waffles, a little bit of the thickness in the batter isn't too bad. But if you're making them as pancakes, you definitely want to make sure they're a little bit thinner because they'll puff up really thick. It's kind of like a weird sort of pancake. So you might want to thin out the batter. That just means you need to add a little bit more milk. Even like a little bit of water would be okay as well to make the batter just a little bit thinned out. So I'll give you guys a little look-see at this and where we're at so far. Oh my gosh, my alarm just went. That means it's joke time. Hold on. All right, next joke of the day. How do you know bees are happy? Because they hum while they work. Buzzing bees. 5 more minutes till another one. I'm gonna put it back on my timer because I know you can't wait for another joke, right, Sadie? All right. So my batter actually doesn't look too bad. So you can see it's not too thick, but these are definitely thicker waffles and heartier waffles than ones that you would just make without the sweet potato added. And if sweet potato is not your thing, you can use bananas in them. You could use a pumpkin puree. Again, you just kind of got to see whether or not the batter is something that's too thick or not thick enough. So I'm just going to put this over into the sink. I'll be right back. Just wipe off my hands for a moment. And then I'll put the mixer down and we are ready to cook the waffles. Oh, Sadie loves my joke. Just wait for the next one, Sadie. There's a Mother's Day joke in there, I think. If you guys are thinking about your moms this upcoming weekend. The weather's not looking too good. I saw like maybe even snow coming again this weekend. But I know I was out enjoying the sunshine today. I hope you guys are getting out and enjoying some of the nice weather today and this spring as well. Because yesterday's rain, I'm glad that's not what we have all the time. So we've definitely been lucky. All right, so my batter's good. I'm just gonna take it over. And I always like to use a smaller type cup to pour in my batter in the waffle iron. I'm just gonna scoop out some of the batter. And I always start in the middle of my waffle iron because sometimes it pushes out to the edges. All right, so just getting another scoop of it in. And you can easily make extra of this recipe depending on how many you would like to have in the freezer. Always good with a little maple syrup on them. But I know Sawyer's been asking all day when I'm making waffles. So my waffle iron, I have these good little clips that I clip it. It gets super duper hot and then it'll let me know and it'll give a good buzz when it's ready. I don't know if you guys looked on the mental health awareness calendar for today, but it said it was emoji day. It said it was emoji day and it said to post a picture with an emoji. So Sawyer made this plate. So it's my emoji, but just thought I'd show you my emoji plate. So I'm gonna put my dirty stuff on today, but I thought I'd show you my emoji picture. since it was Emoji Day on the mental health awareness thing. I don't know, I didn't see any people's pictures with puzzles yesterday, so I'm not sure if anyone was doing any puzzles and showing any pictures of those, but I know probably lots of puzzles and board games have been happening in the last little while. So my joke says it's 2 minutes away, but since this is cooking, I might as well share another joke with you guys now. So, why couldn't the flower ride its bike? Because it's lost its pedals. It's another good one. I was out for a bike ride with Sawyer right before I came in, and I thought this was gonna maybe not even happen because Sawyer had a pretty good crash on his mountain bike, and I was just seeing like visions of heading to the emergency room, you know, just before I was supposed to be coming on Instagram Live for Mountaineer Eats. But he was okay. We made it home safe. He's actually out bike riding with my husband Greg right now, so I'm sure they'll be coming back. I like all the waves, guys. Thanks for all the waves as you're coming on to join. And I know you'll be able to get this video on Instagram or on the Edge Productions website afterwards if you have missed the recipe and you actually really want to make it. I love when you guys are sending me little emails saying that you tried my smoothie or my energy balls or my cauliflower hot wings or whatever it is you guys have tried. That's your favorite joke so far, Sadie. Oh, I got a couple more coming, so just wait, maybe I'm gonna finish with a pretty awesome one. So just waiting for it to happen over there on the waffle iron for it to be ready, and I got lots more batter here for more of them, and I even have extra sweet potatoes that I might even make some extra of this recipe after we're all done as well. I just touched my face, which I shouldn't be doing during these corona times, so I'm just gonna go wash my hands quick. I'm just gonna hear running water for a moment as I wash my hands, just to make sure no germs are happening in this kitchen, even though none of these illnesses are foodborne, right? I know we're still ordering a little bit of takeout every week around our house. Oh, the timer's going for the joke, another joke timer. You guys ready for another one? Okay, here we go. I was prepared. Well, this one has to do with Mother's Day. So I know we're getting ready for Mother's Day, and my son was down making a card for me sometime today that was partly a school project as well. I know he has a Zoom session with his teacher on Thursday this week that I'm not allowed to be in the same room as him. He's probably making me a picture or something, but it's top secret. So, what is the best flower for a boy to give to his mom? Sunflower. I don't know, sunflower's not my favorite flower, but I like them. They just often have a lot of bees by them, so, and they droop over really, really quickly, but maybe you're getting your mom some sunflowers for Mother's Day, or maybe just making her a card, since it's hard to go and buy a card these days. So that's my waffle iron saying that it's ready. Gonna get a plate out for these guys. So I have these nice little clips, and I open it up, and I'm gonna grab a fork, and you'll see that these waffles are definitely a little bit orange because they have that sweet potato in them. So I'll bring them over so you guys can see. So they look pretty good. So I never mind if my waffles are super full size or anything like that, because they're a little bit heartier. I always just make them a little bit different sizes. Pulling the rest of them out. And voila. There's my stack of waffles, just like that. See, we could have done this one in cooking class, you guys. So for those of you that aren't in my grade 9 complimentary course, at school I do grade 9 complimentary course, in this last chunk of time, we have been cooking. We did some salsa, we made some soup, and then it was the big finale. We were making carrot cake, and we were waiting to ice it, and we were icing it the week before spring break was our plan, before the school closure happened, and so we did not get to have our carrot cake. I instead had to make the icing that last week during this first week of school closure before spring break, and I shared the cake with the staff. So fingers are crossed that sometime those grade 9s and I can still finish our carrot cake recipe and make the icing and enjoy it together, because it was sure too bad the way that it ended. Hi Courtney, hi Malika, good to see you guys. I am going to end off with my final joke before we end Instagram Live Mountaineer Eats Edition. And my final joke is, what kind of garden does a baker have? Since I'm baking, what kind of garden does a baker have? A flower garden. Flowers. Flower garden. Oh, the jokes. Probably the bike one was probably still the best, I'd say, Sadie, but just want to say I miss you guys, and I hope you're making some of my recipes, and if you're not, give me suggestions of what you'd like me to make if you're not liking what I'm making, but hope to see you guys soon. Hope you're doing well. Stay well, everyone. Take care. Bye.